Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court of the Rings on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm Lotro's Community Manager Cordovan here for your Friday for about the next hour here. Going to be running around on Landreval, I think. We'll be doing some Q&A. We will talk a little bit about, all the stuff that's going on. Good and bad, I suppose. And then we'll probably move on for the rest of the day. So thank you for being here. I hope everyone's having a relatively okay time. Love the soundtrack too. So Corey on Facebook, I could have started honestly a few minutes ago, but I was really digging the music, and I felt that it was helping to sort of motivate me to face the crowd here today. So yeah, man, that music is good. Good music. Speaking of music, I am hoping to get the Update 27 soundtrack out on YouTube. It is currently in the hands of this guy who's really, really busy. However, I hope to get that out within the next couple of weeks here on the YouTube channel. So if you're into our soundtrack music, you'll want to keep an eye out on it'll be in the launcher, so you'll know when it's released. It'll be within, let's say, 2 weeks from now. Maybe something in the range of 2 weeks from now. Should be able to get the Update 27 soundtrack out the door. So, all right, let me just start with the elephant in the room, I suppose. So, normally I would be thrilled to be talking to you guys and gals all about the Summer Festival being merged into the Farmers Fair, the newly revamped Farmers Fair that's got a whole bunch of new stuff in it. Frankly, I know it was fairly controversial and is still controversial to merge these two events, but I will say that having run around in them yesterday, the flow works pretty well to go from, say, the party tree down to Bywater and all that sort of thing into the Farmers Fair. It's working good. It's working. At least I think so. And we've had some positive comments on the forums to that effect as well. So I know it's pretty controversial to merge the old summer festival into the Farmers Fair and consolidate some of those tokens and that sort of thing. But overall, I think it's working pretty good. Anyway, long and short of it is, I would have loved to make that the focus of the day. I will be largely trying to make that the focus of the day, except, as you all well know, it hasn't all been flowers and roses and whatever the phrase is in recent days. So we've had a lot of server instability on the game worlds in recent days, particular, but that have been ongoing for a while and are clearly something that we are working to address. So one of the biggest knocks, that I've taken is, how much to communicate and what are we communicating and things like that. And I understand a lot of those concerns. At this time, we are working as hard as we can to correct it. We have been working as hard as we can to correct it. Clearly, this is not something we want either. And we feel your pain on this too. However, let me just say, unfortunately, find ourselves in a position this Friday afternoon where some of the server instability is outside of the scope of code and bugs, outside of our control. It won't always be outside of our control. We are working to put it back inside of our control, as it were. However, we do find ourselves on this Friday in a position of heading into a weekend where we are currently cannot make, say, a big promise regarding server stability in the coming days. So clearly that's something that is a big issue for us. It's a big issue for you, and it's really the issue of the day. So I thought we'd start off the show by just sort of trying to tackle that if at all possible. We did release some messaging yesterday after a pretty lengthy period of server instability that we saw. I apologize for not getting that to you earlier. I think normally your expectation is correct that you would have expected a message sooner than you received it yesterday. All I can really say to that is sometimes you got to be careful on this stuff, and sometimes it takes a little while, and sometimes you don't want to chase out a message and then regret it later. So, we did release a message yesterday that talked a little bit about how some of this is external factors beyond our control. And so we did get some of that messaging out yesterday. I'm not, unfortunately, in a position as well. One of the challenges is that this Friday at noon, on top of what I was just telling you, we find ourselves in a position of not really being able to say any more about what's going on than what we said yesterday. Now, for those who were paying attention to the forums and have been sort of following this issue closely in recent weeks, if I saw a couple comments yesterday that we didn't say anything yesterday, and that actually is not true. We may have not provided the level of detail that you're looking for, but it is not true that we didn't say anything yesterday. As a matter of fact, I think some of what we said was pretty substantive. It's just a matter of being able to read the messaging over time, kind of get a big picture sense of what's going on, and make a determination yourself. So I think that's where we sit here at 12 p.m. Eastern. I really am not in a position to say more about what's going on. We are working diligently to resolve the issue. We want it resolved as much as you do. It is a big deal to us, and it is something that we are actively working on. I cannot, however, make promises along the lines of this is going to get fixed by Saturday, for example, or anything like that. So hopefully when you won't need to wait for messaging for us. That's the goal here. You won't need to wait because you'll see the difference. And whether we say something about what the experience is like currently or not, you will know the difference. And that's when this whole thing will be behind us, right? So we're working on it. And we did want to get that message out yesterday that we understand what's going on, and we are working as hard as we can to resolve it. Should I read chat? Oh, God. It is not a pity me time. Trust me. It's fine. I'm fine. Has it been fun reading the forums the past 48 hours? No. But hey, that's what I get paid for, right? So. Would H, you need motivation to face us? No. I love you. I love everyone on the chat, but yes. When you're the community manager of a video game that has been having server instability for quite some time, and it's blown up yesterday and today, right before you go live on the air, and things are not necessarily, you're not in a position to tell people what they want to hear, then yes, sometimes it does not hurt to get a little motivation before you go live on the air, in terms of just being like, center yourself, you're all right, everyone's all right, you'll do this, and be willing to put up with a couple of flings from the peanut gallery, as it were. So, yes, Summer and Farmers Fair festivals are on until September 6th. We use the terminology through September 6th, not until September 6th, because that gives a little wiggle room. It's like, well, do you mean at the start or at the end? No, through September 6th. It'll be ending at 3 a.m. Eastern Time on September 7th. All of the summer festival tokens have been converted to Farmers Fair tokens. at a rate of 1 to 3. And also, hey, good point. Thanks, Moobot slash, I think Eldo is the one that typed in that command. But if you are not aware of this exact guide, you should be. This is a community guide by one Fibro Jedi who has been doing a lot of guides for the community and does a just amazing job chronicling all of our festivals and events. And we every now and then we test him when we do things like merge the summer festival into the farmers fair. But so sorry, Fibro. Sorry, buddy. But it's an excellent guide and one I myself might have used yesterday. So go ahead and check that one out if you would like to. Is it possible we may have to shut the servers down for a day or two to get things working again? I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but I would say the odds of us having to take the worlds down for, say, a day or two are very unlikely. Is it possible that we might need to do some more extended downtimes in the future to deal with this? Yeah, I'd say there's a pretty good chance of that. But I wouldn't expect it to be in the range of a day or 2 days, as I jinx myself now by saying that out loud. But I wouldn't expect that now. I didn't use the cat trick this time. So it's true. I didn't. The cat is currently not anywhere near me, so I could not grab her to try to act as a emotional shield, as it were. Uh, I thought that was just fun. I mean, I think I can be goofy sometimes, and to me, it was it amused me very much, and I thought it was kind of fun to try to deflect some of the abuse that I was expecting by putting my cat on stream. That's all it was. It wasn't meant to be taken very seriously, and I'm sorry if I offended anybody. Yeah. Also, like I said, I knew it was going to end up on massively and probably MMORPG and stuff just because of the nature of the timing. And so I thought it would be exceptionally great if during this time of COVID, I forced a picture of my cat essentially onto. I know, I'm sorry, Justin. I couldn't help myself. We're actually Ruby now, isn't it? Sorry, Ruby. My job is to spin and deflect, though. I mean, people will say that. I personally don't ever use the word spin. I don't like the word spin. And it comes from a deep hearted belief in the work of journalism that I did prior to taking this job, that I do hold myself to a standard. I do not spin. And I think that anyone who's ever used that word in a corporate meeting will attest to the fact that I do not like the word spin, nor will I find it acceptable to do anything that I believe is spin. What I do, there's obviously, you get into wordplay there, and you get into situations of, what do we say versus what we don't say, et cetera, et cetera. So I get it. It's fine. But in general, I believe that the best spin is to tell the truth, to be as honest as you can, and make sure that whatever you do say is accurate. I went into this a little bit a couple weeks ago now regarding this, but I do believe in accuracy, and I do believe in, with the understanding that we are a MMO studio with some marketing and that sort of thing as well. We don't spin. We present what we feel is what we want to present. But I believe there is a difference. And I think, like I said, anyone in the office who's ever tried to use that word around me, I think will attest to the fact that if you call it spin, hey, it's your prerogative. I do not believe it is. That's it. You're not entirely wrong either. Obviously, I do have a job to do here, so I can't just go off the rails, as it were, because I want to. I'm paid to be in a position. I just a quick note to moderators in chat. Thank you for being here, by the way. All the moderators in chat. I don't want people to be abusive, but I'm going to let things get fairly relaxed a little bit today. I know that people are stressed out and mad at us, as it were. So uh, just try to be nice to each other and try not to lob too much abuse my way. But just a quick note to moderators that if there's a little venting going on in our, say, Twitch or YouTube chat or something like that, I largely plan to just be like, sorry. Sorry, folks. We know it's frustrating. All right. This might not even be a thing, but is there any info on junk item carryalls? As a matter of fact, I know for a fact they exist, at least in development here. Have we not released junk carryalls yet? If we have not released junk carryalls yet, then I actually have some good news for you. They are largely ready to be released, as I understand it, if they have not been already. So, and what that would do is collect the items marked as junk stuff. It was part of the work that was done when we separated those junk items out of the was it the task items? It was the task items, right? The task items carry-all was getting some of those junk items in it, and when we did the work to separate that out, that allowed us to basically copy over the tech to do a carry-all, and then assign junk to that carry-all. So it's basically done if it's not out yet, and that should be coming then in the near future if it's not out already. So, Aldosi in Twitch chat, I appreciate your comments. You're not wrong, but it is being a little bit disruptive on Twitch chat right now. I recognize absolutely what you're saying. Trust me, it's been basically the crux of what you're talking about has been taken up a large part of my week, as it were. But let's tone it down a little bit if we could, please. Since SSG is based in Boston, do we hear a lot of Boston accents up there? We sure do. We sure do. I love it. Yeah, I kind of got a Cumbies. Get some Dunkin'. What? What? Oh, it's great. I can't do a good Boston accent, unfortunately. But yes is the answer to that. Very much yes. Enjoyably so. Are there new items for the festival? There are. There are. As a matter of fact, I was meaning to get this out on social media this past 24 hours or so, but obviously the situation with server instability made that an unwise choice, and so I've kind of held off on doing social media lately, other than what we need to say regarding maintenance related issues. So, but this is a pretty good encapsulation of some, not all, but some of the new stuff that you can get. So this is the new kite. I believe it's called a gloaming kite. Is that right? Gloaming. We've got, and actually, before I do this off the top of my head, let me get the actual names of things for you, because I have them in handy email form. Farmers Fair Rewards 2020. Okay. Of course, it doesn't actually have the... Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay. New things with names. The dress with the Bjorning lady is wearing is a new reward called the Shimmering Breeze dress. This has been dyed blue, however. This is not its default color. One of the other screenshots I'll be using will have that. I guess I should probably call that out in the social media post too. The steed the Hobbit is riding is a new reward called the Steed of the Shimmering Breeze. The cloak the Hobbit is wearing is a new reward called the Shimmering Breeze Cloak. This is its default color. The outfit, tunic and pants set that the Hobbit is wearing is a new reward called the Shimmering Breeze Tunic. And yes, the kite pet is the new gloaming kite. I will see. I will have to endeavor to see if I can get a default dye color version of the Shimmering Breeze dress. Now that I'm reading this email before it goes out on social media, I want to make sure that no one has the wrong expectation about what it's going to look like, right? So. What am I doing? I am... What happened to my... Where's my stuff for the summer festival? Oh, where's my map? Do I have a map? Treasure field. That'll work. All right. I'm going to run a little bit of Farmers Festival while we can. I myself am going to have to get used to the naming of calling it all Farmers Festival. I'm trying, though. So Rolf. Oh, could we somehow see the steeds before purchase? That would be lovely, wouldn't it? I am okay with this. That would be nice. I am assuming there must be a technical reason why that is not currently possible. Because that doesn't sound like anything we would have any issue with whatsoever. You can check gear with Control plus left mouse button. Have I seen the thread on the forums about the changes to the badges of taste to festival token exchange? It wasn't mentioned in the patch notes. So I have not yet seen a thread on the forums about a change to the badge of taste. I have, however, seen a thread on the forums that did talk about the exchange rate as it was seen from, 22 to 25 in terms of the ratio you would get for various things. So I did see that, and I would expect nothing to be able to be done this festival, but I know that the developer did read that thread as well, the person who was doing the work. Did double check to make sure that, at least according to our calculations, we feel the ratio is pretty good. But that's not to say that we aren't open to changes. Now, I did not see something specifically, though, about the badges of taste. So this may not at all apply to that. Is that clear enough? Maybe. All right. I just want to make sure I've picked up. Let me make sure I pick up the wrapper over here. Okay. There we go. Oops. What? Oh. Nah. Fine. Go away. I hate it when I do that. Honestly, if I were rewriting Lotro, that might be one of the changes I'd make. Get rid of that. Yeah. All right. Imagine 12 hours of lagging gone for this festival stream. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. It has not been lost on me. Part of the challenge with this particular server instability we've been having is that it is not 100% consistent in terms of who is impacted and in what way people are impacted. There are times, for example, where people who are in game are largely not being impacted. Meanwhile, there are logging into the game is difficult. We've also had periods where people were able to log in just fine, but would then experience things like zoning issues and things like that. So it's some of the granular level impact has been varied and somewhat inconsistent, I guess is maybe the best way to describe it. Frozen. That's all the way over in the, yeah, by water. Okay. And I got to watch out for the bounders or whatever that is. Okay. Carrying a block of ice. Where is my latency loss icon? I don't worry about my latency loss icon. There's my frames per second. I'm averaging about 20 to 30. But that's not unsurprising given that I'm streaming to 3 different outlets and have everything on ultra high. Besides, it's fine by me. In terms, I tend not to be very sensitive to frames per second until it really dips below maybe 10 or so, and then I'll be like, "Oh, it's a little framey, isn't it?" Maybe it's just a matter of growing up with old school computers or something, but it just doesn't really faze me. Just making sure I go around that person. Monstrous. We fully support the game after more than a decade. We realize sometimes issues can be difficult to resolve. The lack of information and the fact you seem to ignore the community is what makes people leave. I'm sorry. Ice cream stand is... Where is that ice cream stand now? Where's that ice cream stand? Where did I take it? Am I taking this all the way to the wrong place? No, I'm not. Am I? Frozen sweet cream stand in Bywater. Okay, there it is here. I'm just blind. No, I'm not blind. I am just not seeing it. Sorry. It's not a good word to use. Okay, where are you, ice cream stand? How can I not see an ice cream stand? There we go. So let me just set a realistic expectation for you, Haderb, who asks, can we expect more frequent updates about what's happening with the servers this time? I will endeavor to make sure that you are up to date, but I would not expect to see constant updates through the weekend, for example, about when things are or are not happening. That is beyond the scope of what we intend to do. But I will do my best to keep you up to date. I don't think we're going to... I'm that said, I want to set the expectation, I think, based on what your expectation would be. The answer to that question is going to be no. But I will do my best. Aldosi, great question on the figments, the curator, Filbert Fig, etc. The last response from SSG Red Panda was, we're off our schedule and are working on it. And now we have yet another festival with little to spend figments on. I will endeavor to inquire about the Filbert Fig specifically and see what I can do. Oh, yeah, right. That's the one I'm doing. Never mind. Let me redo that. Drunkards leave sober partygoers alone. Right. I know what I'm doing here now. You just got to pay attention to their words and phrases and what they're messing up with. All right. What else should I say? This is a good quest to do while I'm looking at scanning chat because I got it's a lot of you. Oh my gosh. I don't know what else would you like me to talk about here. Let me take a quick look at where we sit for make sure all of our bonuses and events and things get properly promoted or mentioned. Update 27.3 was this week. Is there anything? Yeah, the Farmers Fair. We brought Epic Battles back to the Legendary Worlds, and we did lower the cooldown on the Dispel Corruption Lore Master skill. Those are really the only things that were in this week's patch. Probably should call out real quick that we're getting towards the end of August. As a matter of fact, what? Next week? No, not next week. Little over a week now, through August 31st. So that would be through a week from Monday. You can redeem the coupon code Lotro Free Quests to get a whole bunch of free quests for your account. You want to do this. We will be turning off our free questing and rating, etc. period that we've been having going on for quite some time now. Since what, March, April? And that's coming to an end. So you have plenty of time to redeem your stuff, but you want to do that. Oops. No. All right. And if you want to get details on that, more details, you can go to lotro.com/friendsforever. Lotro.com/friendsforever. Sorry, I just sneezed there. I also realized I had turned off the music. We take care of that as well. We do have a bundle of consumables. Let's see. All right, so through August 31st, that would be Skill Slayer Deed Boost times 5, Enhanced XP Supply times 5, 5,000 Enhanced Rep Supply, 2,000 Virtue Acceleration Tome. And that coupon code is Thank You Gift. So Thank You Gift, and you have through August 31st to redeem that one if you have not. Why am I not seeing... I am not seeing Drunken Partygoers, or am I just missing something here? Like, normally the text is screwed up and stuff, and I'm just not seeing it. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm just turning away when all this stuff is happening, and I go back and chat, and I'm just like, oh, there it is, where it was. But I'm not seeing it right now. Oh, also, if you are a VIP, you want to make sure you log in as well. There is time to get the Armor of the Hornburg Defender set if you're a VIP and log in through the end of the month. Farmers Fair again underway, in-game through September 6th. And the weekly coupon is a 20% mount speed boost 90 minutes. Coupon code MountSpeed20. Mount Speed 20, and that's through next Thursday. And event is scheduled to run 17 days, given a 15-day wrapper. We will have to look into that. I think we're just trying to find the right pace for it. We typically have the festival go a little bit longer than the wrapper. If we have not been good on that this time, then. Yeah, I am noticing that the lag is back. All right, well, we're getting towards the end of the show anyway. I don't know what else I should mention. I think we've pretty much discussed it. I don't really feel like repeating the start of the show where I talked about, say, the status of the game worlds and server instability. So I guess I would just encourage people to redo that. It was kind of a lengthy discussion. Rather than try to paraphrase it and maybe say something that would further upset people or say the wrong thing or give myself a second chance to screw it up, basically. Um, Let me just direct you to that earlier set of comments. I have not heard of an ETA and a Runekeeper buff. I'm well aware that people don't feel Runekeepers are where they want it to be. All right, it looks like I actually am going to head on out here. Not only are we experiencing an issue in game, but I have a little bit of work I need to do related to that. So I am going to wrap up the show just a little bit early. I would talk about my cup and the future of hobbies. I actually do want to do a fishing show, a really boring fishing show. A really boring fishing show sometime in the near future. Related to this event because I don't know. Because why not? And in terms of the cup, it's true. I have a Lord of the Rings online mug. A little worse for wear. I've had it a few years now. Came out for the 10th anniversary. Was a made by the company for company employees. And there you go. All right. Well, I will work to get you guys up and gals updated on the status of the game worlds. We are going to be trying to work on it through the weekend, but I do want to set an expectation that it may be a little while yet before we're out of the woods on this one. You'll know it because it'll be solved. You won't need us to message it, but we will endeavor to message it anyway when this issue gets behind us. So, thank you very much. Hope you have an enjoyable weekend. You can find the full schedule over on twitch.tv/LotroStream, and I am going to call it a day. Have fun, everyone. Bye-bye.